Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Dad's Expensive Hobby.
What's up?
Today we are taking a look at the JADA Toys Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers Akuma. This is going to be really cool. I'm excited to talk about it. It has been a while since we've got a brand new character from JADA. It was what, like last June or July, something like that, that we got Vega from Wave 4, but we finally got the first release from Wave 5, and from what I understand, release 2 and 3 aren't too far behind with Balrog and E Honda. But let's talk about Akuma, because I am a couple of days late to the party as far as everybody else that got their hands on this thing a little bit earlier, and everybody else that's going to get it from like a traditional retailer. But Dad had to work, sorry, and I was too tired last night to film this, but here we are filming it now. There are some things to talk about. I'm not going to just sit here and glaze this figure. There's a couple things I do want to point out, but overall it's pretty good. So let's just get started. Let me talk about his package really quick. It is typical JADA packaging. Absolutely love it. Kind of the arcade cabinet style look. Nice image of Akuma right here. Keep that image in mind because we're going to talk about it here in just a little bit. And of course on the back is a lone image of him. If you've watched my videos, you know I like a lot going on the package because I'm an in-package guy, but that is a good image. I just wish they had done a little bit more. But let's get him off the rotating stand here and see how tall he is really quick, because I like the size of him. To the top of his hair, his little hair nubbin up there, he is right at about 6 and almost a little over 6.5 inches tall. Down to his hairline is more like 5 3/4, maybe just a notch above that, which would make the whole figure just a notch below 17 centimeters. And I think that's okay. But let's stand him next to some other figures and see how they all look together. And first up, you know I've got him next to the JADA Toys Ken and Ryu, and I really like this look. To be honest, I was a little worried that he was going to be mostly reuse. I'm happy to say for the most part he's not, but I think there might be some slight reuse in there. But he's got them just by a millimeter or two in the hairline to hairline height department. Obviously, he's got bigger arms and shoulders and just kind of a bigger overall figure, but they look really nice. And here he is with a couple of more Ken and Ryus right here from Storm Arena, and I absolutely love it. We all know I love those two figures, so does everybody else. Heights remain pretty much exactly the same, but this being being a Storm product, they're a little bulkier than the JADA ones, so they kind of match him in the broadness, but they all still look great. And here he is with the JADA Toys Sagat and Blanca, and I think the scaling and height comparison is very spot on. JADA has done a good job up to this point, and they have not let us down, and they all three just look really good. And lastly, here he is with the SH Figuarts Street Fighter 5 M Bison, and of course the Storm Arena Sagat. I love that figure so much, I want to put him in videos that he just don't have any freaking business being in, because I love looking at him. But I really like that M Bison figure as well. I've had him for a while. Tell me down in the comments if I should do a review on him, because I think he looks good. And I like the, just all three different lines, how they scale pretty good. Now for his aesthetic, he does look good. I think this does capture Akuma very well, but in JADA's own kind of style, if that makes sense, like the way they do muscles and their head sculpts and things like that, and the way they apply paint. But overall, he does look pretty good. Let's start with his head and just examine it, and then we'll kind of go more, a little bit more broad stroke. I like his hair. I know a couple of people pointed out, and I'm seeing it too, this feels like this could be delicate. If you messed around with that too much, you could tear that off. So like other people have probably said, don't pull around on that too much. The hair is almost kind of rubbery feeling, and that doesn't bother me because the sculpt is really good. It looks like there's some dark dry brush on it, and it's done very purposefully, and it looks very nice. I like the hair a lot. He's got pointy ears. I think that's cool. He's kind of like a Spock kickboxer kind of guy. I like that. I like the face. I think maybe the nose could have been just just a little bit wider, because I've seen a lot of images of Akuma where the bridge of his nose is a lot wider. I know that, you know, his look changes you know, from game to game, but just from this one, I think that his nose could have been a little bit wider, but it still looks good. I like the mean expression on it. The red eyes look really, really nice. The shading on the face, there's like dark wash or airbrush or something on it that looks really, really good. I like the cleft chin right there. I like his little Mardi Gras beads right there. I want to point out that his Mardi Gras beads, or his necklace, whatever, I don't know if there's a specific name for it, depending on the picture and game and stuff, are sometimes represented very, very big, and sometimes, especially when you're into the gameplay, they're shrunk down a lot. I think that they went with a size that's somewhere in the middle, and I like it. I don't have a problem with it, because like right here, this image right here, I think if you kind of look side to side there, the size to size is almost there. Maybe they could have been just a little bit bigger to match that image, but I think they look okay. That's not too bad. And I like the fact that these are actually on basically a same piece of that material, that the little straps that, you know, strap across his body and their arms and some of their accessories that come in the package, that's actually what these are on, and they all individually move, so I think that was done really well. I really like his gi. I think it looks really good. Nice and tattered. It maybe sticks up off the shoulders a little bit too much. Somebody tell me if it's absolutely supposed to do that all the time, but it still does have a nice look to it. I like the color. There are images you can find where it's a little bluer, and you can find images where it's a little grayer. This is somewhere in between, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I think it's just fine. I like his skin tone. It definitely does not match the Ken and Ryu, so that is very, very nice. The musculature looks good. Big broad shoulders, bigger arms, big forearms. The hands are bigger than the Ken and Ryu figures as well, but we're going to talk about other things here in a minute. They're bigger than Ken and Ryu that might not be so awesome. On the back, his little symbol back here is done very, very well. I want to point out with his gi, you know how Ken and Ryu's has a little bit of a texture to it? This looks like it would have a texture to it, but it is a little bit smoother to the touch. There's some slight shading throughout it. The pants legs look good, nice and tattered. They're not just a retake from the Ryu figure, so that is good. I love his little sandals down here, and I like how the bottoms aren't connected, but we'll get back into that with his articulation. But overall, just in his gi looks good. Actually, I want to compare something really quick. I want to make a complaint, and I know you're probably going to get mad, but hear me out. We all know that if you've watched my video on like the Ryu figure, I don't know if I did a video on Ken, I don't think I did. But we've all heard how they're kind of wide in the waist looking, especially in the gi. JADA made that same mistake with this one, but I think even more so. I think that he does have a pretty chunky look in the midsection and in the hips. Because if you look back here, back to back, really there is no difference in the width of the back. Now the shoulders, of course, Akuma's shoulders are bigger, so he's going to look wider. But just back compared to back, they're the same. And but you look down here at the hips, you can definitely see that Akuma's hips are wider than Ken's, and so it takes away from that V taper. Even though Ken's waist is still a little too thick, honestly, for his aesthetic, it does taper ever so slightly. We are not having that with Akuma here. He looks kind of chunky and frumpy and a little dumpy, to be honest with you. Now, does that go away when you pose him? Yeah, especially with any kind of squatted down pose, you're gonna lose that because he's not actually like thick in the gut this way. It's just right here. But then when you squat him down, do those kinds of poses, that will go away. But that is something that I wanted to point out, because I mean, look at that right here. Actually, I'm gonna cut real quick, and I'm gonna take his top off, and then we're gonna look at him without his shirt on.
A few moments later.
And I'm back. Anyways, let's look here. I had Ryu's shirt off for a reason. I'm not going to say that the chest piece, like this piece here, is an exact reuse of this one, because I don't think it is, but they were definitely sculpted by the same artist, the same person, but it was definitely retooled a little bit. The chest striations just look a little bit different, and up here in the traps, they have cut it out different for that that 1.5 or whatever June called it, for his butterfly up here, so that makes it look a little bit different. But the problem is, it's the same size. thighs, and so is the waist. Now this is definitely new stuff because the back muscles look different and the abdominals are sculpted different. So these are 100% new, and I think this might be a reuse of this, just retooled a little bit, or it could be brand new and they just made it look a lot like it. But that's not really my concern. I wouldn't care if it was spot on the same. My problem is these hips. Look at these hips right here on Akuma, excuse me. Much broader, kind of birthing hips on him. If you see that, look at Ryu, and then look at Akuma right here. Very, very broad hips. They kind of pulled a Storm Collectibles on us a little bit and gave him really broad hips, and that is really destroying his aesthetic. Look at that. Yeah, I know he came with the gi top and he's supposed to have it on, but you can take it off, which means he should look good with it off too, in my opinion. And these butterflies, the cuts on them, I'm not really sure how I like that either. They've really cut into the chest. He's got a really puny chest. And it's just, yeah, these are, we'll look more about them in the articulation, but they've really cut out a lot there. And I think that he doesn't really look good with his gi top off, especially when you see these hips. I mean, that's just unmistakable right there. And I'm not trying to crap on the figure. I want to love the figure, but I have to point these out to you as, you know, as a hobby of mine, as reviewing them. If I didn't review, then I wouldn't say nothing. But yeah, those hips are awfully big, and that's unfortunate for an overall really nice figure. Now for accessories, he comes with the typical JADA Toys spread of stuff, and they never miss, especially for $29.99. He comes with two different head sculpts. He comes with that mean mugging serious face on him in the package, and I really like the look of it. And he also gets a teeth gritting kind of snarling face that I also like, but my goodness, are his veneers shining in the light. His teeth are very, very white. I think they almost should have done something to dull those down a little bit, but it does look good nonetheless. He also comes with 4 different hands. He comes with 2 fist hands on him in the package, and then 2 Hadouken hands, or martial arts hands, whichever one you want to call them. And yes, I will reiterate, they are ever so slightly bigger than Ken and Ryu's. I thought for the last 20 minutes that they maybe Ryu's. They're very, very slightly bigger. And let's not forget his Mardi Gras beads. I like these beads. They move individually. They're all on like this kind of quasi stretchy piece of plastic, and one of them even has his little logo kind of carved into it with red paint. Looks really, really good. And lastly, he gets a super awesome Hadouken effect. I think that's what it's called. Somebody tell me down in the comments. That might not be what his is called, but this thing is freaking huge. It is awesome. I absolutely love this thing. And what's kind of crazy to me is it is actually the exact same sculpt as Sagat's little tiger punch effect thing, just blown up. If you see him right here, look at that, much, much larger, just blown up. And it's going to, of course, it's that translucent plastic, you know, fading from yellow out into red. Looks really, really cool. The only thing I'm kind of curious about is because his moves or whatever, his little Hadouken or whatever that is exact same thing as Ken and Ryu's. Why they didn't just make a bigger one of like Ken or Ryu's fireball? Because, you know, Ken has this one, which is the same color scheme, and then Ryu has the blue one, but theirs are shaped like this. Why didn't his just become a bigger one of these? I don't know. Either way, it looks really good. Now for his articulation, this is a JADA Street Fighter figure, so we know he's going to move well, but let's run through it anyway, and let's see how this necklace kind of blocks his neck joint here. He can still look down pretty good, put that chin down into the chest. With the necklace on, he's not going to look up very good, pretty much straight out, but if you finagle it around, you might get another little bit there like that, so that's not too bad. And of course, it's going to move all around anywhere you want to put it, because JADA properly uses double ball pegs, and I absolutely love it. We all know I'm a fan of double ball pegs. They rock and rule and everything else. His shoulders. Now this is new tech on a JADA figure, so let's see how they go. Definitely above 90 degrees. So anything 90 and above, I'm pleased with. So far, so good. Nice full 360. Now, here just a little bit ago, we looked at what the joint looks like, and it looks like there's plenty of room for it to move around, and it feels like that is the case. It will bring the arm across the body beautifully, so you can pose his hands for the Hadouken with no problem. And they go back pretty good. If you can see the shoulder relation there to to the neckline. It definitely moves the shoulder back and forward. No up and down really. That's a little bit of up and down, but not a big bunch. But mainly these are going to give you front and back, and I really, really like it. Nice and smooth as well. Bicep swivel is a bicep swivel. He's a little tight, which is what she said. Double jointed elbow right there, past 90. I have no problem with it with his big muscular arms. Elbows, it's got that slice look a little bit, but it's not bugging me. And of course the wrist is a hinge, so you get your rotation and it will bend ever so much like that. Now, also, I can't remember if they like to use double ball pegs or if it's just a ball peg in that diaphragm break there, but let's see what kind of range of motion we're getting just on it. You're going to get a little forward and a little back just on it. It will give you tilt and twist all by itself. Ball peg down here in the waist as well, and when you use them together, he leans forward nicely, leans back nicely, and he can go side to side, and of course you get twist out of that as well. Now, these birthing hips down here, let's see what they're going to give us. Full on split. Jada never misses, so that's beautiful right there. I absolutely love it. Will he come forward? Yes, he's going to go a little bit above his waist, so I like that. Zero problem from me. This is a soft booty, just like the Ken and Ryu and most of the other ones. I think they're all like that as well. So that leg's going to kick back pretty good for you. So if you want to do something with that, thigh swivel, that thigh swivels. Double jointed knee, again, a little tight, but that's okay. I'd rather it be tight than loose. Plenty of range. The proportions are pretty good, so I like that. And it doesn't look absolutely grotesque. Not my favorite look for a knee, but we're going to take what we can get. We've got ankle swivel down here hidden nicely by the gi pants. The ankles themselves are hinged, so you're going to go all the way down. You're going to get a little bit of up. That's past flat, so that I don't have a problem with it. Of course, he's got an ankle rocker that works really, really good. Peg hole in the bottom of the feet. And I like how they've done the toe hinge. Still a little bit too far back, in my opinion, back behind that ball, that foot. But I'm not going to freak out about it. And the sandal comes off the foot, if you can see that, and I like that a lot. So his articulation in typical Jada fashion is absolutely spot on. Final thoughts on the JADA Toys Ultra Street Fighter 2 Akuma here. Do I like the figure? Yes, I do. I like the figure. I think overall it is a good release. Problem is, whether Jada likes it or not, they are forever going to be locked in a battle of the Street Fighter figures with Storm Arena, and they made a pretty big aesthetic faux pas with those wide birthing hips on him. His aesthetic is a little janky, particularly when he's in like neutral poses, and when he has that gi top off, he does not look good as well. If we grabbed the Storm Arena Akuma off whatever, whoever's table is working on him right now, whatever shape that one's in would beat this aesthetically. Sorry, it would. Those hips aren't that good. I hate to be like that, but they are. Anyways, he still moves really good. Got a great set of accessories. The paint looks good. The head sculpt and everything. He looks good, but those hips are screwed up. I can only give him a B. There's quite a bit of room for improvement. Actually, I want to give him a B minus. Still above average, but he is definitely not Jada's best work. Unfortunately, I'm very disappointed in those hips. Sorry if that makes you mad or unsubscribe or whatever. But if you did like the video, like it, subscribe to me if you haven't already. Leave me a comment, tell me what you think. But anyway, this has been Dad with Dad's Expensive Hobby, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.